even though it's a very fun event, it's also quite educational as well, and they'll learn things. And we've also had a lot of feedback from some of the schools that it helps give some of the students a lot more confidence as well.
Welcome to the Bailiwick Express podcast. My name is Matthew Leach. I'll be joined each week by a guest for a series of podcasts. Each will shine a light on topics from across the Bailiwick. The format will change week to week. We'll have debates, reviews, hot seat interviews and special guests. So stick with us as we offer some insight on some of the most important issues we in the Bailiwick face. The annual Putron quiz is returning as a completely live in-person event this year. The inter-school quiz has been a popular and challenging date in the calendar for students from both Guernsey and Jersey for 15 years. We spoke to one of the organisers of the event, Thoume from Orchard, who told us why the event has been so successful.
Well, the Putron Challenge is an Annalee Foundation initiative, and it's organised by Orchard. And also new to this year, we've got 3D, which is an event company in Jersey, helping out with the Jersey side of things. So we're very excited about this year because we're back in person again. So we'll be able to have everyone back in the room supporting the crowds and everything. So cheering on the teams. Whereas in 2020 we had to do a virtual event due to COVID and everything. So, very excited to be back again.
Brilliant. And so if we talk about the Putron Challenge has been around for a while. When did it first come about and why did it?
Yeah, so it first started in 2007, so about, I think that's 15 years now. It was set up because there's a lot of school competitions for sports and things like that, but there's not that many educational competitions. So, the Annalee, because it's a charitable organisation that supports the advancements of education, so it tied in nicely that we could then do a sort of inter-school quiz, both in Guernsey and Jersey. So in 2007, it first started in Guernsey, and we only had 5 teams. So it's definitely come a long way since then. So this year we've got 42 teams across Guernsey and Jersey that are planning to take part, and that could go higher. We're still waiting for more schools to confirm. We use a quiz writer called Sean McManus, and he's local to the island, and he used to be a teacher as well, so he's very familiar with the curriculum, and so he writes all the questions that are based on what the students are learning about. So it is tough. There are some hard questions in there, but that's all part of the challenge, and it's all kind of to prove it's cool to be clever, and those students that are, very smart and know their stuff, they can sort of show off and prove, how much they know.
And is it extended to all the schools?
Yeah, so every school in Guernsey and Jersey can take part. And it's for Year 6 and Year 8. We used to do post-16, but in the past couple of years we haven't, just because it's sort of become more suitable for the younger age group because they like to bring their banners and scream and shout and cheer for their team. And also March is a bit of a tricky time because they're very close to exams.
And it's a very public event, isn't it? People come down and they watch and they really get involved.
Yeah, so a lot of the schools bring their whole year groups to come watch, and then they've got parents, family, friends that also come. So in Guernsey, it's in St James, the Guernsey Challenge. The Jersey Challenge is in the Jersey Royal Showground. It's a packed out. There's lots of people that come. It's very exciting.
And so you touched on it briefly before. Obviously, the last 2 years have been a little bit different.
So it's normally held in November. So the event is now, we didn't, because of COVID spiking again last November, we've now moved it to March. However, the year before that, because of COVID again, we decided to do it virtually. So instead of having an in-person quiz with everyone, all the teams together, the schools kind of had their own time to just complete 3 different challenges. So one of the challenges was we used, it was called Knowledge is Power, and it was, we used Kahoot, which is an online quiz platform, and it tested the kids on general knowledge questions. And then the second week, we did another challenge, which was Rise of the Robots, which was a sort of coding challenge. So they made their own video game type thing. And then the third challenge was reinventing the wheel, which they had to kind of look at the UN sustainable goals and try and create something that would work for the islands and come up with an idea to help the islands be more sustainable.
And the schools themselves, I mean, how do they choose their teams?
Well, I think it's quite tricky, seeing as they can only really pick 3 in a reserve for a team. But I know a lot of the schools, so we send them some sample questions and things, and they do a little quiz within their school to then who then goes on to compete in the Putron Challenge.
Orchard itself, I mean, how did you get involved? How did Orchard get involved with? Were you there from the very beginning?
Yeah, so we've always run it, but we help with the Anna Lee Foundation's PR as well. So we also run the At the States initiative and Director of Tomorrow for the Anna Lee Foundation as well over here.
And the foundation you're referring to, could you tell us a little bit about that? Is that to raise money, or how does that work?
Yeah, so the Anna Lee Foundation is a charitable organisation, and one of their main goals and aims is to support the advancement of education. So that's why the Putron Challenge ties in well, because even though it's a very fun event, it's also quite educational as well, and they'll learn things. And we've also had a lot of feedback from some of the schools that it helps give some of the students a lot more confidence as well. When
the challenge happens, I mean, how long is the night and how does it pan out? Are there different stages?
Yeah, so in Guernsey this year, the challenge will be at St James on Wednesday, the 9th of March. And so the schools arrive at around 9 o'clock, 9:50. And because we have now quite a lot of schools that want to take part, we have to now put it into heats. So we'll have around 6 teams in a heat, and then the winners of each heat then go compete in the final. So the Year 6 one's from 9 o'clock to about 12. The Year 8 one in Guernsey is from 2 o'clock to 4:15. And then in Jersey, it's on the Thursday, the 15th, of March at the Jersey Royal Showground. And the Year 6 one starts at 9:30, finishes at 12:30. And then the Year 8 one is at 2:30 to 5:45. And there's quite a few more schools in Jersey.
And is there a particular theme this year?
Yeah, so every year we have a theme, which is quite broad, so it can be linked in the question for each round. This year it's food for thought. So, without giving too much away, there will be some questions around food and things within the rounds. Yeah, we've changed it up a little bit to fit with the how education is going at the moment. So instead of just sort of fact recalling, it's traditionally the Putron Challenge is very on the buzzer, so it's quite tense, and the quizmaster reads that question and then they buzz in quickest, and if they get the answer right, then they get the point. But we wanted to include a few more team building rounds. So new to this year, we've got the STEM round, which in the past has been based on coding or technology, but this year it's going to be on engineering. So we're working with the Channel Island group of professional engineers to create a round, so it's a more of a structural building round. But I don't want to give too much away on that. We've also got a general knowledge round, which will be a similar format to £1 million drop. So they'll have to kind of place their tokens on different answers, and then whoever's got the most tokens at the end, because obviously only one of the answers will be right. But if they're not sure, they could take a risk and put some other tokens on some different answers. We've got science and geography, which will be on the buzzer. We've got the picture round, which is maths and literature, so it'll be slow revealing picture, and they have to buzz in quickest to answer the question. We've got a words round, which is going to kind of testing them on their definitions of words, and also a video round, which is on current affairs, which is a memory test. So they have to watch a video and then they'll be quizzed on it afterwards.
It must be great fun for you to be able to set this all up and organise this.
Yeah, no, it is good fun, and it's a lot of planning and work that goes into it. But then when you see all the students come and they're cheering and they brought their banners, and it's a great atmosphere, and it is really good fun on the day. It all comes together, and it's very exciting.
And so then, does it go down into finals? How does it work?
Yes, so we have the Guernsey Challenge, and then in the Jersey Challenge, and then the winners from each then go and compete in an inter-island final. So in the past, we would take the Jersey students over to Guernsey and then alternate that each year. However, due to COVID and restrictions and things, we didn't want to take risks with that. So for the first time, we're doing that virtually and also live. So we'll have a similar setup with the teams coming down. They can also bring some supporters. And the Guernsey ones will be at the OGH, and they'll have their team. And we've got 2 quiz masters, John Fernandez and Freddie Miller from the BBC, and they'll be asking the questions. And then we'll be checking in each round to see how they're getting on against the other island.
Thank you for listening to the Bailiwick Express podcast. The title track was Shift My Weight by Luno. If you enjoyed it, I know it's a pain, but please like and share. It all helps, and remember, you can hit bailiwickexpress.com to stay right up to date with whatever is happening in the Bailiwick. You can find us online, on social, on email, and on internet radio. There'll be more from me, Matthew Leach, and all the Bailiwick Express team next Friday.